Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time we putting down the pylons and you pick up the cones because it's basketball season, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? We got a jam-packed show. Not as jam as last week, but we're gonna be talking hoops once again, you know what I mean? One of my co-hosts, Damian Lewis, will be on the way. Mr. Wilkins will be here, Mr. Najeh Wilkins will be on here soon. But we're just gonna get down to the business. We're talking OTE, we're talking high school hoops. Got a lot of upcoming events this upcoming Saturday, Friday. Really starting them off. Friday, Saturday. Got the Naismith Classic. Got the Battle of the Peach. And you got, your local high school games that you got to attend to. But I'm not going, tell y'all all the game because this is Games for Your podcast. So we're going to hop right into it, man. Welcome on my co-host, Najeh Wilkins.
What's going on, man? You're getting better and better at that, man.
Hey, man, just got to flow these days, keep your vernacular up, read a couple of books, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be a bookworm, you know what I mean? So that's just the gist of the game, man. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Staying busy, man. Excited to be on here with you, man. Just talking some hoops, man, and the latest around the state. Like I said, I always told you how I feel about hoops here. I think it's top tier state, but it's very underrated. We don't talk about it enough. With just the talent that comes in, and I think it's good to have a podcast talking about it, just highlighting all the superior talent we have here in the state.
Most definitely, man. So like I said, it's a lot of hoops going on this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? Which event or game has kind of piqued your interest?
Man, it's a lot, man. You got the Hawks Naismith. Kale's supposed to be here. Norcross is hosting. I got a chance to see that. You got the North Georgia Showcase. That's going on this weekend as well.
Yep.
And then you also, you look at Battle of the Peach. That's going to be big time as well. And then obviously you got Grayson New Year's Classic. That was announced today. That's not going to obviously be this weekend, but that's going to be in January. So it's a lot of primetime games and events, man, showcasing the best talent. But I would say Tri-Cities going up, obviously, against Holly Innocence, seeing that kind of that star-studded matchup.
Now, for sure, we're going to dive a little bit deeper than that right now, man. Wingfield, they did lose. Georgia Southern commit. I believe he transferred out. Holy Innocent, they got Caleb, of course. They got this other guard, number 10. They got a point guard. I can't remember. He's been going crazy. Of course, you got Devin Hutchinson. What about this matchup specifically? It was like, yeah, I got to go see this, or I need to watch the replay, the highlights, or something.
I mean, obviously, right now, when you look at the season, Caleb Wilson, it's just been, he's been on a tear, bro. Like nobody's had answers for him. He's dominating high school competition. Recent game, I think he dropped 32 and 16. And he's been a Southboy. And then seeing obviously another great newcomer, Jalen Wingfield, is a 4-star, also going to play that front court type of position. Seeing what he's able to do out there on the basketball court, I think it's going to make for two elite players and seeing what they're able to do. And obviously we've seen it last year when Isaiah Evans and Caleb, Isaiah Evans was more like the seasoned vet. Obviously Caleb was seasoned as well, but it was a little different. You could just tell that like Isaiah was playing at maybe a different speed than Caleb. Not necessarily that he wasn't on this level, he was, but you could just tell like Isaiah was already very polished compared to right now. Caleb Wilson is super polished and just looks easy for him out there. Maybe compared to Wingfield, he's still added different pieces and facets to his game.
Nah, that's a fact. It definitely would be interesting to see them two play now. But I would say I'm not gonna say he had an answer for Caleb, but Chandler Bing has really been the only one to kind of go toe to toe in terms of scoring. While I think he had 37 against that on that night. But take fans if you're watching. I was conversing with Jalen Wingfield in the DMs. He had posted a story of him on his visit. Glasses on, legs folded oh so well. I said, man, what's going on? He said, man, I got to talk to you. When I see you, we got to chop it up. So, we'll see, if I talk to him this weekend, but we'll definitely try to get that news for y'all. But I think it's something big about the Flats. But stay tuned for that. But let's get into the topics, what we got today. Oh, man, we'll start with Cameron Bland, man. A man very well. He had 40 points last week in the North Georgia. It was an OTR Classic. North Georgia OTR Classic. But he had 40 against Cherokee Bluff, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got the inside scoop. You had the chance to interview him, man. Are you surprised by this 40 ball?
No, not really. It comes kind of naturally for him. He's a great two-sport athlete. He's committed to Sanford to play football. And just a really great kid, man. Real smart. And I think what's different for him is just like he just set their all-time scoring record, passing
Yeah.
Nico Wilson last week as well. So that was huge for him. Passed, I think, 1,000 points last season. But just one of those guys, just an athlete, man. Like it's very rare to see. You're not maybe doing it on a big grand scale where everybody can see it, but to be able to be great at both football and basketball at a high level like that, I think it says a lot about just his talent, man, and special guy, special player. And no surprise, man. He's doing that against obviously Cherokee Bluff. I think it's gonna be a good season for Lambert. They got a lot of talent. Bland, they got a pretty big man. That's good. That's good as well. And I think he's going to be good. He's just one of those guys. He gets to the spots, and he's not always looking to score. Like he really be looking to set up his teammates. But if his shot's there, he's going to take it.
Nah, 100%. I'm trying to find Mr. Big Man, like you just alluded to, is another player that dropped 40 this year. So so Lambert's top 10 in 6A. Per the Kyle Sandy list. Keep up with that. So definitely Lambert is a team to keep close on, man. What I'm saying? They got another guard named Will DeFore. They're a crafty, gritty team. They're gonna play defense, what I'm saying? They're gonna run through the sets. Nobody's really crazy out there. I know we're seeing a couple 40 balls, but we have to keep in mind it's at the high school level. You can put together a couple dribble moves, a couple side steps, stay in rhythm, work out the post. You can probably drop 30, playing against some lower end talent, respectfully. But nonetheless, shout out to Cameron Bland, and everything Lambert basketball has going. But we need to shift attention to the Samuel twins. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me get my link. All right, here we go. Back to stream. All right, here we go.
Did that. Your thing ain't streaming on Twitter, by the way, too. Just want to tell you that.
Bad. Let me edit that real quick.
Sure.
We are now live, brother.
All right.
Now hot and ready.
Oh, why is it not letting you do it? Oh, there you go.
There we go. All right. So, like I said, it's brothers Jaron and Jordan Samuel. They are playing right now they're in Georgia for sure, but they've just been going crazy, man. OTRs highlighted them. Kyle Sanders highlighted them. But they're doing their thing. BTR, but between the line, between BTS, excuse me, between the sidelines and whatever. But like you see here, Jaron, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. His brother, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. There's definitely 2 young men that need more. They need more pub. They got a lot of upside, long rangey wings. Can get down here, work out of the post. Shoot the ball, the dribble. Just when you think of a prototypical guard or wing, especially if you're watching the NBA and blue blood college level, man, this is just what you salivate over, man. You get big guys who can run the floor and pass the ball. That's what you're making on 2K, man. You're making those kind of Wembanyama builds. I just went too far out, but definitely want to shout out those young men. They're definitely doing their thing. Have you heard anything about the Samuel twins?
I think I've heard a little bit just in the summer circuit. Not far as offers. I know they got a few that's been kind of coming in for them. But I know like during the summer they got a lot of shine as well. A lot of people highlighting them and what they can do on the floor. But it just like you said, they complement each other well. One's an excellent shooter, the other one's kind of a downhill driver. But just 2 guys, they had an underrated school in Winterboro, but just getting out the mud really, man, and doing their thing and trying to lead the team to victory. Both just recently dropped doubles in a win. Both had 18. One had 12 boards. I believe that was Jordan, if I'm not mistaken. Jaron that had 12 boards and 4 assists. He also had 10 rebounds for Jordan. So, I mean, two really great athletes, 2 great players. Just like you said, just need that more shine, man. That's why On the Radar and Sean Williams, what he's doing is great because it's getting the kids out there because these are like the ones you see fall through the cracks that no one really talks about, fortunately. And, obviously has to get out the mud.
100%. Jordan is a 2025. Jaron is a 26. And like you said, they go to Winterboro High School. Jaron is shooting well over 45% from 3 this season. That is spectacular. Jordan, who's the older brother, in fact, and this is per On the Radar right now. In fact, It was a play of Jordan in the third quarter that kept the Dogs within the lead. You know what I'm saying? And they just experienced an older brother knowing how to play in those critical situations, going down the stretch, making the right passes. But nonetheless, these two young men need some love, man. So we've got our highlighted players. Do you have any highlighted players that you've been hearing about you want to shed any light on?
For sure. Mason McCullum of McEachern. In a recent win, he dropped 20 points and 6 assists. He absolutely balled out. So shout out to him, man. McEachern, they still figuring things out. Played some tough competition. Beat a really good Kel team. Kel is 7-1, and coach has hit 300 career wins. Jermaine Sellers. So shout out to them as well. Playing really good basketball. Obviously, Eric Chatfield, he's been great as well. Recently dropped and surpassed 1,000 career points. So that was crucial for him. So shout out to him for what he was able to do there. I think he dropped like 22 points and 6 assists as well in a recent win for Pace Academy. So those are two that kind of caught my eye. We'll continue to look. Obviously, like I said, it's hoop season. So as we kind of wind down here with football championships being Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, definitely going to look more and try to highlight some top performers from the weekend and just players putting in work.
100%, man. With that being said, we're going to transition to one of the premier classes coming up, and that's going to be the Battle of the Peach. There, let me share my screen once again so we can take a look at this. Us two and our family, our friends, our family that's tuning in right now, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we know it's a little different, man. We know we used to be on the football, but we trying to expand too and talk hoops too, man. Hoops need a little bit of love. Man. Yeah, man. So appreciate y'all tuning in, tapping in.
On Friday in the main gym at Duluth High School, not too far from the Infinite Energy Center, you got The Rock, first game, The Rock versus Spire. The Rock is from Florida, very talented team from Florida. Spire is from Ohio, I believe in the Cleveland area. In 7:30, you got Green Forest versus Tri-City. That's another intriguing matchup, big matchup for Jalen Wingfield. Green Forest usually keeps some dramatic length, you know what I'm saying, like a couple 7-footers, 6'11s. 9 o'clock, got Cal versus Westlake. In an auxiliary gym at 6 o'clock, you got Grace Christian versus the Village Charter. The Village Charter. Did you get? Oh, I'll come back to it. Let me spin on the rest of these games. T-Lab versus Team Dickerson at 7:30, 9 o'clock. Middle Georgia Prep versus Next Level Academy. The Village Charter, you know what I'm saying, they got a player that played for the Florida Rebels. Did you get a chance to see them at Peach Jam this year?
I think I did. I don't forget because they have multiple teams, so I don't remember exactly which team I saw, but yes, I did see the Rebels.
Okay, for sure. Well, we'll start with the Cal Westlake game. We just talked about Coach Sellers, man, on his accomplishment, man. Shed any light on us, if you will, about Cal.
Yeah, that's a team I got to do definitely some more research on. Like I said, they lost so much, right? They lost Cannon Brown, they lost CJ Brown. They lost their point guard, but they had another one transfer over to Grayson. But just continuing to churn out big wins. They recently won a big game, and the reason it's hard to keep up with Cal, unless you know the basketball program, they don't keep stats, so it's very difficult. You know what I'm saying, to kind of keep tabs with them. But I know most rankings they're like as high as number 2 overall, but 7-1 this year. Recent loss was to McEachern. That was probably the ugliest one so far, but beating Pebblebrook, they've beaten Clark Central, they've beaten Chamblee. So they've beaten some pretty good teams so far and some out-of-state teams. So team I got to do some research on, but they should be an intriguing team to watch. Won back-to-back state championships under Coach Sellers the last few seasons.
100%. This is per Jay Hillsman, on-air announcer. He raved about their defense, playing with intensity. Connor Staffelers, 14 points a game, led Cal in all scoring. That's definitely a name to watch this Friday and Saturday as well. King Jones, 9 points per game, 8 rebounds, active on the glass, obviously. And Benjamin Lee. Benjamin Lee is definitely an intriguing prospect. Standing at 6'5", Jamaican from Jamaica, class 2025. The brother can shoot the basketball well, lengthy, can drive the ball a little bit, get down, makes the right basketball plays. You know what I mean? So those are definitely some names to watch. Even Connor, I said Connor, excuse me. Um, Brandon Rouse, former football, well, not former football player, gets down on the hardwood as well. Had 7 points and 10 rebounds versus the win over Union Grove not too long ago. So, you know what I'm saying? Kale's definitely a team to look out for, but can they beat Westlake? That is the question. I don't know. I'm not sure if they can really hold down Charles Matthews, one of the elite 2027 guards. Was a part of that what was it? Georgia Stars, the junior EYBL team that got busy along with AJ Williams and Braylon Craft. The brother is sensational, man. He can shoot the ball. Currently leading the Westlake team as a sophomore, 19 points per game. Not 19, 15 points per game, excuse me. 3 rebounds, 1 steal, so he gets active on the defensive end. Just got a mind for the game, man. You know what I'm saying? You can always tell when a kid's got it. He just makes the right plays, quick, twitchy moves. You know what I'm saying? Hard to beat, hard to guard off the dribble, and he's coachable, very coachable. So when you add those two elements together, man, it's just gonna be a tough outing for Kel, I believe. But they are a gritty team that will play defense, so that's definitely be a matchup to watch. But in that matchup, we won't pick and choose too many matchups who we got winning. But you know what I'm saying? I know you're not as well versed on Kel, but are you gonna take Kel or are you gonna take Westlake? North side or south side?
Good question. I go Westlake.
Westlake.
I go Westlake.
All right, for sure. Also, Westlake, you know what I'm saying? They had one of their former players was recognized the other day by Stephen Curry. I don't know if you heard the news. I can't remember his name. He went crazy at Xavier last year. I think he led the conference in scoring. And he's been a big Steph fan. And he did an interview, talked about it. And Steph kind of signed his jersey for him. And he gave him his first shoe deal, man. So that was sweet.
That's pretty cool.
Facts.
That's pretty cool.
All right, moving on to another game. We got, let's see, the Spire versus the Rock. Let me refer to my notes here. There we go. All right, we're going to start with Team Spire. Like I said, team out of Ohio, head coach Jeffrey Gonzalez. Notable players that you need to know about: Sean Register, class 25. Leading all scorers, 20 points, 8 rebounds, man. He's a guy that, you know what I'm saying, I think he's flying under the radar. He's 6'7". He can put the ball on the floor, but the handle is not, you know what I'm saying, it's not elite. He really excels in the post, makes some incredible passes out of the post, I might add. I think he was opposite a weak side corner, kind of threw like a behind the head pass or something, and it was accurate on the money to the opposite end of the course. So that just shows you what type of passer he is. Obviously leading the team with 20 points, you know what I'm saying, get active, 8 rebounds. Another name to definitely know is Colin Ross. You may remember that name, Georgia basketball fans. He's from Georgia, played basketball at River Ridge High School, on the perimeter, 2 OTP if you're on the AAU scene. He's 6'10". He's got tremendous upside, man. I think that's why he ended up going to the Spire, man, to work on that ball handling, put it all together. And I think they may specialize in just working out of the post, because everybody's got some type of post game up there. But you know what I'm saying, 6'10", he can kind of maybe some resemblance in what like Caleb Wilson is. Kind of he's real, you know what I'm saying, not built as Caleb is right now. He changed his body over the last 2 years, but real kind of slim. But you know what I'm saying, active on the defensive end, rebounder. He can shoot the ball. Definitely a name to know and watch if you're going to be at Duluth this Friday and Saturday. The third player from the team, Kyle Waltz. He's a grad student. When you go to these prep schools, you got to understand that you're going to be competing against some kids that are your age, you know what I'm saying, a little younger, or a year, you know what I'm saying, removed from graduating. But he's committed to Miami of Ohio. Really had a good summer this past year, man. Just one of those kids that just stayed to the process, and now he's flourishing. Now he's got some offers. I think he blew up over the summer. One game and had like plus 10 plus 10 Division One offers. You know what I'm saying? He's got a real fundamental game. You know what I mean? Plays defense well. Good finisher around the rim. This is going to be a joy that coaches really want. Coaches going to listen, take in the instruction, and apply. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make some bumps, but you know what I'm saying? Really good kid. Let's see. Refer back to this list here. All right. Spires playing the Rock. The Rock is out of Florida. Hold on, y'all. All right. The Rocks. All right, here we are. The Rocks, they are, let's see, they compete in the SIA, considered to be one of the best basketball in basketball conferences in the country from Florida. This is going to be a team that's got a lot of guards, you know what I'm saying, a lot of wings that can really run, very athletic, get up and down the court. They'd probably rather be in the transition game than in the half court, but they got a half court monster for you, and that's Kentrell Martin, Tulsa commit. In his bio, he's a guard. You know what I'm saying? You think 6'8", he's got to be a wing, right? Got to be a small forward, but now he's a guard, and he can pass that bad boy now. I think in one game I saw on the team's Twitter page, he had 8 assists to be 6'8", and to be facilitating the ball like that. That's elite. That's next level. I'm not gonna lie to you. But crafty, you know what I'm saying? He really gets to finish off balance with a double pump fake. So, you know what I'm saying, putting all the ends, got a couple of hesitations off the dribble. So it's gonna be tough to guard, man. I expect Kentrell to be blowing up OTR, Green Light Media if they're in the building. Any media, they're gonna have his name because he's gonna be he's definitely gonna be a spectacle. And Evan Streck, which is why I asked you about the Florida Rebels. He played. Evan Streck played with them. He's a four-star guard per ESPN. No, not Evan. Excuse me, that's a different person. I'm thinking that's Joseph Hartman. So let me go with Joseph Hartman. Coach's son, not of this team, but he's a coach's son. He's a 4-star guy. Played on the Adidas circuit this year for Austin Rivers Elite. You know what I'm saying? He's a 3-level scorer. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a sneaky, quick guard. You know what I'm saying? Definitely beat you off the dribble. So this is a guy that's going to, you know what I'm saying, obviously have a mind for the game, being the coach's son, but he is an elite scorer. Another guy that's definitely going to be everywhere. He's got I've been seeing a lot of guys that kind of got the mellow vibe, brother. I know I've been talking. I'm gonna get to you, brother. But just a scorer, man. He knows how to use his body well. Bumping guys off at the last minute, create that separation. Got a smooth jump shot, very smooth game. But nonetheless, we're going to end it off for the notable players for the Rock squad. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be facilitating that rock and shooting that rock. Evan Streck, 6'3", 4-star guard per ESPN, is committed to Jacksonville University. Is this going to be a true point guard for this team? But if you leave him open, this is a guy that can get off for you, knock down some jumpers from deep. Got a nice floater between 6 to 8 feet on the court. So I'll do my pick. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw it back to you, brother. The Rock versus the Spy. I like the Rock, man. I know the Spy's probably going to be more fundamental. They're going to run more sets. And the Spy's going to run more sets. The Rock's going to come in and just try to tear your head off and turn you over. But I tend to like that brand of basketball, even though I have a special place in my heart for fundamentals of the game. You know what I'm saying? I am purist, but they just got some, like the 6'8" guy that's bad, got 8 assists. That's gonna be tough to beat, brother. With a true point guard, with a guy that can score. I don't know what their depth looks like, but I gotta roll with the Rock, man. Anything to add, brother?
Yeah, on the spot, I don't know if you knew this. LaMelo actually played for them, believe it or not, back in the day when he was younger. So yeah, like you said, that's a lot of their team. Very underrated, fundamentally sound, but produces a lot of good athletes that come in there to try to develop their game and go into the next level, man. So it's almost like a little factory, kind of how we see with G League or anything like that. It's kind of like a college preparatory factory over there, man. What they're able to do. But yeah, I would go with your pick. I would go with the Rock to come out on top. And that one on Friday night, like you said, very aggressive unit. Likes to get to the lane, draw fouls, things like that. I would go with the Rock.
100%. So before we move on, man, you know what I'm saying? I know you've been around the hoop scene, you know, so you hoop as well at Norcross, and they're kind of like I say that like Norcross obviously is a public school, a public high school, but you know what I'm saying, during that time when you were there, they kind of like they were just bringing top level guys in, so it kind of like a hybrid school to me, like a public and like a preparatory system. Just not you can't just stay an extra year. So what I'm saying, what's your thoughts on just the difference between the two?
I mean, in terms of Norcross, I mean, you're getting a lot of benefits because you got a coach that's produced NBA talent. You know what I'm saying? So you can
Yeah,
always go in there and he can always tell you or have bring you in, and you know you're going to be challenged, and he's going to work you hard to get to where you want to be. So that's something that Norcross is always going to have for them, and just the pedigree. Like they got the championships and the same coaches there, so they will never fall off long as he's there. Like even with a roster that wasn't that elite last year, they got I think to a quarterfinals. You know what I'm saying? That's just this year is way better. So they're going to be right back in the hunt again in 6A. But yeah, that's kind of what Norcross gives you. Ending, attending the school and being there, like it's like you said, it's preparatory too because you could take AP classes, you could take dual enrollment, and you can also take IB, which is International Baccalaureate, and that's basically college courses as well. And you could take that, take the test for it, and go ahead and be ready to go once college starts. So that's why, like you said, it is a kind of a tweener in between both because you get in that high level education, but then you also get in high level basketball against one of the top classifications in the state of Georgia, and we know what it produces here. So that's kind of why it's kind of like you said, a little bit of a tweener of both because you're getting the best of both worlds, really.
100%. Oh my bad, brother. I clicked off. All right, so we're gonna move on to another game, man. We're kind of gonna touch kind of some games you'll know about, some hot games. But Cedar Grove, 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 14th. They play the Villages. I'm saying I know Cedar Grove has had a rocky start as of late, playing out of the classification. Of course, obviously they got Manny Green and it's Gillespie. Yes, Gillespie, the guard. Just do you know much about the Villages, and if so, just kind of give me your take on this matchup.
Yeah, this one should be interesting. You have high level guard play in terms of what Cedar Grove can bring you. Right, Keith Gillespie's an underrated guy that came over. He transferred over, I believe it was from Fayette County. And then you got obviously Manny Green, who's a top rated 2026 guy. Village Charter's having a pretty good year this year. They're 6-1. They've been able to beat some pretty good teams so far. Only loss was to Tampa Catholic. Every year they're a pretty good basketball team. Other than that, they've been spanking opponents. They've been beating them pretty good. Excuse me. So this is a team that's high level. They're led by Aaron Britt Jr., a sophomore who's averaging 19.7 points per game. He got multiple guys that's averaging over double figures. When you look at Aiden Corbin, he's averaging 15.3. Jared Thompson's averaging 14.2. And then Ethan Beavis leaves them in shooting percentage this year with 58. So they got guys that can fill it up on both sides. And the only thing is they only got one senior, and he's the second leading scorer. Everybody else is pretty young on this team. A couple other seniors on here as well, but they got a lot of sophomores, juniors mixed in. So a team that has some good camaraderie, plays together, and guys that can fill up the stat sheet. So for Cedar Grove, definitely going to have to be a defender at a high level.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. And back to back, man. Here, the Villages Charter is the home of Trey Mann, who plays now for the Charlotte Hornets, and Sam Walters, who's playing at Michigan. But you definitely got to look out for Hurley Butis. So hopefully I'm saying his name right. This is the guard from the Florida Rebels, top 60 in the top 100. Ben Coach Ben Carter raved about him, 6'3" athlete who can really do it all, man. It's really effective on the defensive end. It's gonna make things tough. Where I'm saying definitely Gillespie or Manny tries to come down here, get to the rim. But you know what I'm saying, what a word that really defines him the best, especially if you play 2K, man. Definitely a slashing wing with a little passing ability. Definitely he's gonna be somebody to watch. He can definitely fill up the stat sheet. But I think I'm gonna have to take the Villages here, man. I think what Cedar Grove head coach is trying to do, man, just get these guys a platform, and during that time, take a couple lumps along the way. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you playing talent at this level, it's just going to sharpen that iron, man. They're playing for a 3A state championship, and they got a roster that's going to that's gonna put them in a position to do that. So playing high level competition like this is gonna prepare them for the Coffee County. It's gonna prepare them for when they got to go see Coach Nick down there at Sandy Creek, or when they got to bring them there, or if they see him in Macon once again. So I mean, you can't turn your nose up at something like this. But I don't think this is the game that they're realistically trying to win. Just trying to get better.
Good point out.
All right, let's see. We skipped over that Green Forest Tri-Cities game. I don't know about Green Forest that much, but I do know they usually keep some brothers from the land with some hype, brother. But do you know anything about Green Forest this year?
Yeah, they're going to be another good basketball team. They're the preparatory level, man. They've already beaten Langston Hughes. They've beaten Riverwood. So some pretty good wins on the docket for them. This is probably the toughest opponent they faced this year. But they got a kid, Orion Wilson, who a lot of people are shouting out. Sean Williams is shouting him out. What he's doing this year, averaging 14.4 points per game. He's been electric so far to start the season for them. Averaging about 3 rebounds as well. And then obviously Irby is another one averaging 12 points. But year in, year out, man, Green Forest is a great basketball team. Always play high-level competition. And they challenge themselves. And you do that again with Tri-Cities because I think they're Class A through A private. Tri-Cities, I think, is 5A. So once again, you're seeing them, and same as what you see with Cedar Grove, just challenge themselves with worthy opponents. But the player to watch will be Orby Wilson.
Orby Wilson?
For sure.
I need to add that to my list. All right, moving on to the 5:30 game on Saturday. Westside Macon versus Riverwood, man. I think J.R. Leonard, need to get there for this game because the brother is an elite scorer, man. Again, floor is yours, brother. Do you know anything about Westside Macon and who you taking in this matchup?
Yes, hold on. I think I had something pulled up. Yeah, so they got this kid named Joshua Harden. It's a guard, right? You're going to be surprised with this stat line, but as a guard, he's averaging 18 points and 10.5 rebounds. So, again, an underrated team, right? They've lost to Valdosta, Spencer, and things like that. But a team that, same thing, right? They can space the floor. They got 2 guys that average double figures, Little as well as another one. But a team that's just trying to challenge themselves against Riverwood. Riverwood's had a little bit of a go at it so far this year, just with losing so much talent, but they have a great coach in Bug Jenkins. But really, J.R. Leonard is their prolific scorer. Like, outside of him, I think they're trying to generate ways to get offense. Now, I haven't seen him in person, but that's just my hunch from hearing and seeing different clips and things like that. But I am going to try to get a chance to see them. But Westside Macon, Joshua Harden is going to be your guy there, and then obviously Riverwood, as you alluded to, with J.R. Leonard.
100%. Do you want to touch on any more games from the layout?
I think I'm good. The only one I'll touch on just real quick is Love at Tucker. Love is going to be featured in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. Tucker always has a pretty good basketball team. I know I'm still new to it, but every time I hear about it, they got a pretty good basketball team from front to jump. Just well-coached basketball team. They make runs, love it. Still kind of, figuring some things out. They got some underrated guys over there. I seen Southern Hoops Report was highlighting. So they're going to be a team to continue to watch. Obviously, now it's 2 years removed since Christian Anderson hasn't been in that program. Obviously, we'll talk about him a little bit later in the college segment, but a team that should be one to watch in the private.
Definitely. All right, let's see where we're going there. Actually, brother, before we transition, I'm gonna stop sharing this and get my next thing up. But I want you to touch on and enlighten the people about the Corky Kell Dave Hunter hoops class that y'all got coming up.
All right, you doing a graphic for it, or you just want me to talk about it?
Oh man, I got you, brother. I'm gonna say you can go ahead and start, and now by the time you get a little bit going, I have it up for you.
It's a bet. Yeah, man. So we try and get on TV. I've been the one tagging you, Bacon. So if you're like, why I keep getting tagged, that's me, buddy. Just trying to get it out there, get it out to more people. Like I said, we are still fairly new to the hoop space. Well, not Bacon. Bacon's been doing it for a while. I'm fairly new in terms of just getting into it and trying to get big matchups. But it's all about relationships. I did try to get I try to get Wheeler in there, Grayson, some of these high-end programs, Holly Innocence I was close on. And getting them in there as well. But like you said, it's kind of tough. But nonetheless, let me have you scroll down just a little bit, Bacon, just so you can see it.
Gotcha.
On the 2 dates. So, again, we're still working out in terms of details for this 3:30 game. We had a coach that said he wasn't doing it, then called back, they said he was. So, 3:30 spot might be available. We was able to fill the 2 p.m. spot after cancellation. And at that spot is going to be Lovett versus King Ridge. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that game. Actually, I'll be obviously calling them from the booth, all of them. So that'll be a lot of fun. But that one, I'm excited to see what those two private schools can do. 3:30 game, we're still figuring out. Then you got North Paulding girls versus North Cross girls. That should be a good matchup. Two really good teams. Kinsey Hickson is that 2028 already has a Jacksonville State offer, and she can play. And then they got Ava Andrews, who obviously plays for North Paulding, commits to University of Delaware, another standout player for them. Norcross, Justice Fitzgerald. They got Janizia Spears, I think from Southwest DeKalb. She's another primetime scorer for them. So Norcross, even though they got Janiyah Akins anymore, they do have a lot of talent, at the positions. And then it concludes with Pinson Valley. Obviously, shout out to Gainesville head coach. He helped me set up that contact and get them in. So they're coming in first out-of-state opponent, going to play Norcross. Coach Mack has some good history, knows them a little bit, so he was excited for that matchup. But yeah, they're going to play each other in the nightcap, so that'll be December 20th. That'll be a lot of fun. Jerron Salisbury, obviously Nasir Anderson, a lot of talented guys. And then on the 21st at McEachern, going to kind of kick off. I think West Forsyth is going to play Riverwood. I got to double-check the times and everything. I sent them out, but I haven't seen them recently. But you're going to have that matchup. Actually, no, I'm not bad. Riverwood McEachern is going to be the nightcap for those two. You're going to have Newton West Forsyth playing. So I want to see Ted Neal and what he can do. Appalachian State commit. That'll be a lot of fun to see what he can do on the basketball court. They got a really good guard. I think Marcus Teague is his name, I believe. Very underrated. Excited to see what he can do. West Forsyth lost a lot of talent, but got a really good guard. We've seen Grayson Smith. So he's going to be one to watch there. And then the girls, McEachern, St. Francis. St. Francis is coming off back, I think, a state championship. So always a really good program going up against McEachern, another really standout team as well. And the last one is Newton girls versus West Forsyth girls. In terms of that, like Marley Raymond, she'll be one to watch, dual sport athlete. Recently reclassified. She'll be going to Penn State to play soccer. And then obviously on the other side of the spectrum, you got Newton. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Josie. Josie took place in Newton. Josie was the state runner-up last year. So they got a really good program as well, and they're looking to finish it all this year.
What school is that?
Josie. They're out in Augusta.
Okay.
Yeah, they took the place in Newton.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing some things over there, man, at the Escrow Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing hoops to you. But the Hawks Naismith Classic is definitely bringing hoops to you once again from Norcross High School. Starting with the with the doorbuster at 1:40 p.m. Kale versus Norcross girls. You just talked about Norcross girls. Do you know anything about Kale?
Yeah, they got this girl named Kennedy Deese. I believe she was a true freshman last year. I think she is a sophomore now, or she might have been a sophomore or junior now. I know that she was a underclassman last year, and she started to kind of come on for them. They got a great coach at Kendra Bailey. They ended up winning it all a few years ago, obviously, with Crystal Henderson, who's at Georgia State now, had a really good front court player. So they're off to another really good start, really good backcourt yet again, and they got a strong front court presence as well. So that's going to be a pretty good matchup to kind of get it started on Saturday at Norcross. I mean, high key matchup. And then I think the best one got to be Hebron Christian versus Langston Hughes. Aubrey Beckham is out for the year. I believe she tore ACL, but they still got really talented players for Hebron Christian, girls that can fill it up at a high-end level. And then obviously look at Langston Hughes. They got the Georgia Tech commit over there. She does an outstanding job. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a primetime matchup to see who can kind of win that one as well.
100%. I'll add to that, man. Jocelyn Faison, I believe is her name, man. She gave me Rakia Jackson vibes. Played at Tennessee last year. Now was drafted by the LA Sparks, man. I think that's the one, man. Y'all can call me crazy, but definitely let us know in the comments. Does Jocelyn Faison remind you of Rakia Jackson? I think so. So moving on to the 5 o'clock game, we got the boys, Fayette County versus Hillgrove. Hillgrove was solid last year. Fayette County. I believe this is I can't remember his name right now. But I believe this is coach's last year at Fayette. You know what I'm saying? He's hanging him up. You know what I'm saying? He's been at Fayette for a long time, and just like every person that puts that time in wherever they're at, you know what I'm saying, they need time to relax in their golden years. But you know what I'm saying, I live by Fayette. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too familiar with the Hillgrove boys. But I think I'm gonna roll with Fed here. I like Jackson. Jackson's a good scorer. Can't if his last name comes to me. I think it starts with an R. But Jackson will be out there doing his thing. I think he's about six. Jackson about what 6'5" now. Um, Scorer. You can shoot it from deep. Really has worked on his just his mind for the game. Um, Physical, crash the boards. You know what I'm saying? Really somebody that's coachable. Plays with Coach Jackie Britt, man, who's doing his thing. It was made some big wins on the AAU circuit. Plays a lot at Rise. Shout out to Coach Jack and the BBA program. So moving on to 820, the primetime matchup: Milton Boys versus Norcross. Milton is very interesting. I've been looking at them. They got a guard who's electrical, you know what I'm saying, who's been getting off.
Josh Dixon.
Dice Dixon, you know what I'm saying? Dice, what's his first name?
Josh.
Josh Dixon. Josh has been
Yeah,
doing
he
his
was
thing.
in EYBL, bro.
Who do you play for?
I'm trying to remember.
I know he
I
caught
can't think of it off the top of my head.
You good? We'll find it. I'm going to Milton right now. I know he caught Caleb Bulldog, you know what I'm saying? He beat Caleb Bulldog the dribble, you know what I'm saying? They ain't no regular guard that just beating Caleb Bulldog the dribble, man, with a little crossover.
He like that. He committed to Clemson.
Committed to Clemson.
If I'm not mistaken. Make sure I'm right.
Oh, this is girls basketball. I need Milton boys.
My bad. Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Zach Foster. That's what I'm thinking
of. 100%. So we already know what Norcross has, but Milton, I think they're gonna make this interesting. I think this can go either way, honestly. I believe in Milton that much. I think they played a close game with Grayson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they lost by maybe 10.
10 points?
Yeah.
That's respectable. Because they've been whacking everybody else. 7-0 this year. Let me pull it up. They lost, let's see. They lost by like 15, 17 points. So, it's not worse. You know what I'm saying? Tri-City's lost to them by like almost 40, 41. But the Combine, obviously, that's an overtime elite program, was the closest win. Wheeler played them close, but besides Wheeler and the overtime elite team, you know, so they gave them the toughest, one of the toughest games of the season. So I'm gonna change up. I'm gonna go to Norcross here, man. I think Norcross they shouldn't lose this game. The type of magnitude, type of season they're trying to build, man, and contend for that 6A state title. I think Coach McMillan, he got them young men ready. So I got to roll with Norcross here, man. I'm sure you're gonna take your alma mater in this matchup.
Yeah, I go Norcross too. Home field, home environment. I'm sure they'll have the stands packed out. Milton does have a good team. I like their coach Alan Whitehart. He does a really good job. Obviously, Josh Dixon being one of their better players. Braxton Giesler is another one who is really good. Nate Earl, another one that can stretch the floor. They got some guys, and they're always well coached. But I'm gonna go with Norcross on that one.
100%. I think that's what you got to do in this situation. So that will conclude. I'm saying just the high school hoops. But before we do that, I want to also shout out, man. I think East Skywood is not being talked about right now. It's not ranked on anybody's top 10. I think preseason I saw him slipping to Kyle's top 10. But you know what I'm saying, he pushed him out. I think he put Lambert in there, which I understand. But I think what we got to understand, we're talking about East Skywood, is this team. I think outside of maybe like one or two players, maybe three, maybe three. Everybody's 6'5" and up, and have been in this system. They've been playing with Coach Maxwell going on now for I think 3 years. Some of them. So they got that chemistry. They know tendencies. They got a young, I think sophomore, well, freshman. Maybe a sophomore. David Askew. We saw him this over the summer. Hung like 25 on the Atlanta Celtics. But I sell that to say, man, they got a group coming in that's been with Coach Maxwell for a while. And I think they're gonna upset a lot of people as a playoffs come. I know we got some ways to go. We got to play region games. We're gonna play Westlake. They're gonna play Carrollton. But I think this is a team that are gonna sneak up on people's radars. You know I'm saying probably midway towards the end of the season. But I'm saying I want to put it out there for the East Coweta Indians. So that's going to conclude high school. We're going to transition into college, and we talked about Love at high school earlier, and Christian Anderson, and we're bringing them up again. Committed to Texas A&M.
Tech.
Say it again.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Sorry, Texas committed to Texas Tech. The Red Raiders. 6'2", 165, averaging 7 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, shooting 42% from the field, 36% from the three. That's elite. That's elite in my book. That's almost 40. 83% from the free throw line. I just think when you watch them, man, let me see. Do we get copyrighted if we put up ESPN highlights? We shouldn't, right?
No, you will.
You will? Well, we was gonna try to give y'all some visuals, man. But he's been cooking, to say the least, man. Just beating older guys off the dribble, hesitation. I mean, pretty much what you saw. At Oak Hill is pretty much what he's doing right now. But definitely want to come on and highlight him.
Via Twitter.
Let me check the Twitter right now. Christian. I mean, it was gonna be on a website, but I was gonna blow it up to where you really couldn't see it. Anderson. Let's see what they got on here. Not really anything on his Twitter. Oh well, yeah we do. All right, I'm gonna share my screen.
I just say muted.
All right. He said I ain't playing.
Nah, bro. Don't have time for that. Respectfully.
He's so small, but you can kind of see it. You know what I'm saying? Burning his eyelids off. That's my new term. When somebody get caught and they get caught, help a layer, they got a good hand up and they still make the shot. You just got your eyelids burnt off, man. All right, top of the key. Looks like an ISO play here. Call on the screen. Yeah, let me watch a couple more plays before I say it. But before in high school, I was like, I mean, obviously he was getting the Steph Curry comparisons, and maybe we should go Trae Young. But the kid's an elite level shooter, man. I think as he gets older, we can possibly see that either that number at 36% stay there or work well into the 40s. Maybe like 42, nothing higher than that. Great vision, just point guard first. So maybe Trae Young is a better comp, but the brother is elite. I mean, to be a freshman playing, to be playing reasonable minutes, not reasonable minutes, but to be playing meaningful minutes, that's big. Christian Anderson, Love at high school, Texas Tech Raider. You got any thoughts on this game, my friend?
Yeah, looks like he just got a good flow to it. He know how to read the ball screen action. If it's going one way, he can go the other way. Pretty good handle. That can get himself open and pretty good shooter. Probably have to get a little bit bigger. Teams will probably try to start taking that away, going under the screen, potentially trying to make him put the ball on the floor and go to the paint. But I mean, pretty good floor spacing, and you always take that as a coach.
Yeah, man, exactly. You can't complain, bro. So Texas Tech 7-2. Only losses are to St. Joseph and the Texas A&M, but they beat schools like Syracuse, Northwestern State, Wyoming, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, not St. Joseph, lost to St. Joseph, and Bethune-Cookman. You know what I'm saying? If you keep up with the HBCU basketball, HBCU hoops, who have been playing pretty well this year. Let's see, was it Marquette? It was some school where they were playing. I can't. Oh, it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss almost lost to an HBCU team. I think it was Grambling. Yeah, it was Grambling. Ole Miss almost lost to Grambling. So they've been doing their thing. Let's see. Arkansas upsets Michigan. Boogie Flan shines. And DJ Wagner, man, could possibly be turning the corner. Do you think that is true?
Yeah, I mean it's early in the season, so I'm gonna reserve for that. But I think he's showing some flashes the last few games, getting to his groove, letting the offense kind of come to him, not forcing. So yeah, for sure. I mean, this was a big win for Arkansas. This is a quad one win. So for those that are watching, they'll know what that is. A quad one win is basically, if the team is 1 through 50, if you beat them, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, make sure I got my notes around this. So a quad one win, or if you beat them, they 1 through 30, according to the net rankings, right? On the neutral site, it's 1 through 50. They're ranked on there for the net rankings, and then obviously 1 through 75. So these are very important. There's different metrics, and I like the metrics more with college basketball compared to college football. I feel like we don't have that kind of metrics of the FPI. I mean, ESPN has it, but it's not taken into account when we decide, okay, hey, is this team making the playoff? Have to play quality competition, strength of schedule, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important. But that was a big win for them to beat them. And like I said, it was a quad one win for the team. Obviously, great performances from Boogie Flynn and obviously DJ Wagner. But what was most important in that one, they got it from everywhere. They also had Adu Thiero. He had 13
Mm,
points. Trevon Brazil had 15.
big
But they
win.
shot it
Mm,
really well for Arkansas. 50% from the field, 39% from three. You'll take that any day. You shooting it as a team, that looks pretty good. But both were pretty evenly matched teams, in my humble opinion. Obviously, for Michigan, Vladislav Golden led them with 17 points, but just went down to the wire. They was able to do enough in that one to kind of come out on top. But two really good teams in a quad one win for Arkansas. You could take that all day.
100%. One thing what really separated the game for Arkansas is Michigan was turning the ball over down the stretch, man. Anytime you do that, you basically just hand the win over to the other team. But like I said, Trayvon Brazil, 15 points, but had a big time block at the end of the game. It was probably game saving. And I do Thero is next to Boogie Flynn is probably my second favorite player on this Arkansas team. That's if DJ Wagner doesn't, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep the ball spinning, man. I think if he can hover around that, I'd like to see him average 14 points. I know that could be asking a lot for somebody who didn't average 10 last year for the blue, not for the Wildcats when he was at Kentucky. But 14 points, 5 to 6 assists a game, couple hustle rebounds, man. I just think I still believe that he's an elite shot maker, man, shot creator. Just what I seen at the Throne when he took over the scene, it beat Jeremy McCain. I think they beat the Boozer twins. That's still inside of him, man. Comes from that pedigree. So I just think let's keep watching the Razorbacks, man, as they progress. And we know Boogie Flang he gonna come through every time for us. That's a fact. Coach Cal, this team's just still relaxed, still cool, calm, and collected. That's why I gotta love Coach Cal, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we'll keep up with the Razorbacks as this thing progresses. But that was a big win for them last night, trying to get the ball back rolling in a positive way in terms of ranked wins. Man, but transitioning into Georgia Tech, and hopefully we got a couple Yellow Jacket fans. And I got a bone to pick with y'all, man. The girls are a top 25 team. They ain't lost a game. And every time I turn on the film or watch a game, stadium empty, man. Let's get a couple people in McCamish. You know what I'm saying? Coach Nell trying to bring in these top level recruit girls, man, and recruits watching the games. Man, ain't gonna come to my game, huh? Get y'all ass in the gym, man. What's going on, man? We're trying to turn things in the right direction overall, man. Let's support these ladies as they come out. We got Danny Carnegie, you know what I'm saying, the Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year, season year, one state championship at Grayson, man. Just support the girls, man. I was trying to say the young lady's name who had 5 made threes against University of Louisiana Monroe. I know it was against, you know what I'm saying, ULM. I know I'm saying they're not the same top talent that are going to be playing in the ACC and beyond. But nonetheless, 5 made threes in the game is very impressive. But I'm turning the floor over to you, man. Just give me your thoughts. I'm sure you watched the film over ULM.
Yeah, it's interesting when it comes to Tech and even girls basketball. Point I wanted to kind of bring up to you. It doesn't seem like it has as much,
Luster.
I want to say media coverage, but it doesn't have that bolster that it had last year. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like it was in a frenzy last year. Like everyone was talking about it. Now people are talking about it, they're covering it, but I don't feel like it has that same level of effect that it did last year with Caitlin being there. Now I'm not giving her all the credit for that. I'm just saying it goes back to my point of what I was saying, like just doing better with some of the coverage. I think because these girls are playing great. Georgia Tech's a great example of that, but I don't feel like we highlight in the sport enough. And obviously, Caitlin's generational talent. And obviously, she deserves the credit and praise for that and for what she's able to do. But I think also we need to highlight the sport a little bit better. But when it comes to Tech, yeah, man, great season so far. Some quality wins for them, beating Oregon. And obviously that tournament was a huge win for them. Got the national top 25 ranking, 10-0 start the season. That big ULM obviously wins, spacing the floor. The girls can shoot, but you gotta give credit to the coaching staff, doing an outstanding job. Right, when you get girls like Daniel Carnegie to come to your school, who could have probably went almost anywhere. But she stayed home, and now she's leading you in scoring. Like, that's kind of crazy to think
Mhm.
about. A true freshman leading you with 13.9 points per game, and then Cara Dunn is right under her with 13, I
Yeah.
think, 0.4, 0.5. And Carnegie scored in double figures in practically in every game this year except the one. So, I mean, that's getting it done. Dunn's been hitting the boards as well with 6.3. They share the ball. They look like they're having fun out there when they're on the court. But yeah, I think we're gonna learn a lot more about this team in the next couple of games they got coming up. Right, they got to play North Carolina. They're
Yep.
number
This
14
Saturday.
ranked on the road. That's gonna be a big time game for the girls just to see where they are and evaluating them to see if they're for real or not. Now you pick up another win like that, that's going to just add more to your resume. And you still got primetime ACC opponents you're gonna have to face too. In the coming months. So picking up early wins like that is going to be very important. So shout out to them, man. Just a well-oiled machine. And as Bacon said, y'all got to get out to McCamish, man. Support the girls. Like they did. I don't know when the last time the girls basketball team's been this good. So I just think it just speaks to the administration at Georgia Tech, JJ Batt, everybody that's responsible, not just football but basketball, girls basketball. Obviously, last year a really good year in baseball.
Mhm.
The whole program is turning around just in terms of being competitive and being viewed as kind of one of those top end programs to kind of come to. And obviously they got the education to back that up too. Now it is a harder school to go to, but nonetheless, you think about being in the national spotlight and also being had an education to back you up. It's like a win-win to me.
100%. I believe that last time they've been good was with it's 2024, so maybe 2022, that year when they had they had that run with Lorella Kubai. I believe it's the last time they've been good. But another thing that I examined watching Tech, I was watching a little bit of UNC, but what Tech does well is they play the half court. Um, they utilize it to their advantage because they know they're not super athletic, right? So they have to kind of steal possessions away from the other team by having to lean more so on a half court set. But they play good defense, right? They play good defense. And the young lady's name who I wanted to highlight was, I'm not sure how to say her name. Her name, Rusni Rusni August. No, I'm not even gonna try, but she's a sophomore. She's from Lithuania. Like I said, she had 5 threes against ULM. But like I said, they play good half court set, play good defense, and so of course Danny's. You know what I'm saying, she's their firecracker on offense, kind of sets them apart. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they do against UNC, as you alluded to, Naj. You know what I'm saying, just how's this product going to transfer against teams that maybe are a little more athletic, it can kind of run and gun. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to work? I think you know what I'm saying. Coach Nell's been around the block a lot of times. She's got a lot of experience. I think she's got enough talent to do what she needs to do. But they better knock down their jump shots. I tell you that. If they don't do that, it could get ugly. But the boys, man, I just the boys. I'm so locked in with like this recruiting and seeing what they're building. That at times I kind of, you know what I'm saying, I'm kind of like outside the fans are with the girls. I'm kind of like that with the boys at times because man, they kind of let me down. But I'm locked in on a long haul play for them. I see where things are going, and I know they're gonna go through rough patches. But that's just where we're going at right now, man. But I'm gonna give the floor back to you, man. Just you've probably been watching more film recently. Just what do you think about the Yellow Jackets? Are they kind of turning that corner, or are they still licking their wounds, trying to get back? I know they've been a little bit unhealthy, so I know that's been an issue.
Yeah, man, they dealing with some injuries. I like the depth that they have currently. They're just not finishing games. Like they was
Hmm.
up on UNC on the road, played really well. I thought another big game from Lance Terry. The bench is playing well. They got the game, pretty much in hand. Not that they're blowing them out, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm saying that some turnovers. And then the problem with Georgia Tech right now is that they go in these lulls. And when I say these lulls, they go in these lulls of not scoring. Like they went like 7-8 minutes without a bucket. That gets the team back in it. They did it against Oklahoma, like controlling the game. You know what I'm saying? And playing really good defense, limiting them, and then go like 6-7 minutes without a bucket. So like that's what they're kind of missing. That go get it bucket getter kind of to it in a sense to a degree. Now,
Right.
Lance Terry's been a spark plug for them. He's been a bright spot. Obviously, this is his final year at eligibility, but he's been great. What he's doing on both ends of the floor, scoring at a high level, leading the team in scoring, being able to get assists as well, averaging 15.4, 1.3 steals. He's been great. I think he needs to be more aggressive, especially with some of their top end
Mm-hmm.
talent not being in. And then it's like outside of him, where else does the scoring get? Now, Bane and Dongo has been doing a good job, but he's kind of like that old school big, like the Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? Being able to pick and roll, finish around the rim, dunk the basketball. But what's the problem is some of it is they running these screens and they putting in Dongo in kind of these like these messed up situations. Not necessarily Tech or Coach Stoudemire, but these pick and rolls, and they're not really sure what to do. Like the communication is off, so that's leading to easy buckets on the other end. They're overplaying, like that kind of stuff is kind of hurting them. And then obviously when you don't have Kawasi Reeves, who's out with a foot injury, and Javion McCollum, who has a concussion, it's tough. Now hopefully they'll get one of those back because McCollum's kind of this team's go bucket getter. You know what I'm saying? You need a bucket, he can space the floor and go get it. And then you bring in Lance Terry, a part of that rotation, you feel pretty good. But what Coach Stoudemire is doing right now, he's trying to figure out lineups, trying to figure out how he can mesh everything. Dorian Onchekwu has been pretty good this year for him. He's letting him learn on the job as a true freshman. Some of the games he's came in and started, he rebounds at a high-end level, and he's continuing to get better with defending the basketball. So he's been taking his lumps this year, but he's been playing really well. What I'm saying, for the Yellow Jackets this year. So that's kind of where they're at. Duncan Powell's been giving them good minutes. He crashes the glass, offensive glass, pretty good, keeping possessions open. But yeah, they're just missing like that extra scoring punch. That's been hard this year. And I want to give one more shout out before we wrap up on Tech and get you to come in here. Jaden Mustaf, obviously OCE. He's been pretty good. He's been a bright spot this year, right? He's been hitting double figures in the last couple of games with Javion McCollum out. So I think they got a potential nice lineup. So if McCollum wants to come out, get a little breather, him and Nate George play off each other really well. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is George is supposed to be progressing. He's having a pretty decent year, but I don't think he's progressing to that level they wanted to see as far as scoring wise. You know what I'm saying? Now he shoots the three. It's not at an efficient clip, but putting the ball on the floor, he's kind of struggled a little bit with that just as far as getting the ball in the basket compared to maybe where they expected him to be at. Now, he's playing a great point guard role. He don't turn over the basketball, good assist to turnover ratio, but he's been struggling with that. Just like when they need a bucket, he's going ISO ball, and a lot of times it's not falling. So that's been hurting them as well. But we're going to learn a lot over the next few games. They got to play Northwestern, UMBC, then they're going to play Duke. I think that's on the 27th. So that's the game I want to know. I want to see what they're going to do because they need a quad one win bad. We just talked about it, obviously, a little bit earlier about the quad one win with Arkansas. They need one bad. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina would have been a good one. They're not ranked no more.
Yep.
That still would have been a good quad two, possibly quad one win. Duke is definitely a quad one win. If you can win that one, I think they're at home as well at McCamish.
At home, 12 o'clock.
Starting noon. That's going to be a big game for you. You know what I'm saying? You go beat an excellent Duke team with Knuppel. Slim starting to get more playing time and is hitting a lot of buckets. I think he was 4 or 6 the other night from 3. Cooper Flagg, you know what I'm saying? Tyrese Proctor. That's a good basketball team. If you can go in and upset them at home, that's going to do a lot because nobody's going to expect that. And they're like, oh, well, you beat a quad one team and you build momentum. I don't want to say it's a must-win, Bacon, but they need to do something in that game because they're already 4-5. So you're not going to get too many more opportunities, and you got to secure some of them top-end wins.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big win. That's gonna be a tough win to get. That's gonna be a very tough win to get. Right as right now, Clemson is the only ranked team they're gonna play going forward, unless some change with possibly Miami. I'm not even sure what Miami's record is looking like, but I know they got some talent over there. So yeah, man, it's getting real fast where they go on a winning streak and do something in the ACC tournament. But it's gonna be tough. It's a Darion Sutton. That's another OT product, right?
Yeah, he's been dealing with some injuries too.
No timetable on the return.
Nah, last time I watched him, they just said he was out with injury. No timetable set yet to return. He's been coming in and out, but pretty much solidified on that end.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Piggybacking off what Nas just said, I mean, they get healthy. I think that they're well inside a top 25 team, maybe somewhere around top 20, somewhere in there. Um,
But that's why, to your point, Bacon, that's why they got to get some wins now, because then you're gonna put even more pressure on yourself. Let's say you get your whole lineup back with Quaracy Reeves and Javion McCollum and Sutton
right.
back, but then it's like, oh well, hey, we are 5-8, or hey, we're 5-9. You got to practically win every game to even have a chance of getting in. You don't really want to do that to yourself. Like, you got to handle your business in these games, especially at home. You know what I'm saying? And pull off an upset here or two. If you could do that, especially without some of your guys, that only strengthens your resume.
That's 100. That's 100, man. Definitely pay the McCamish out when Duke comes into town. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna do that anyway, just as he comes see Coop. Definitely slim. But I'm gonna try to finagle my way into that, and we'll see. But we'll see how things go for the Yellow Jackets on the boys' end, but on the girls' end, it looks spectacular. On the recruiting end, man, the class is phenomenal. Did a deep dive on the recruiting class 2025 on SI. So you can check it out, allyellowjackets.com. Kai Fleming updating y'all if you haven't been watching him at Overtime Elite, man. He's just getting more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I already knows how to pick his spots, you know what I'm saying, where to go, where he needs to score from. But coming from high school, coming from Osborne, and going to a team where there's a lot more alpha mentality, there's a lot more I need the ball, I need my 5 to 6 or 8, 10 shots a game. Just coming in and, you know what I'm saying, understanding, feeling all that energy and just being like, when I'm going here, I'm gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's getting more in the rhythm, knowing when to do certain things. And he had 20, I think he had 24 the other night, or 75% shooting for the field goal, man. That's not getting it done. I don't know what to tell you. So as he progresses, I believe he's an early, is he? No, I won't say he's an early enrollee, but he did sign. But definitely gonna finish it out the season of Overtime League. But
Now, hoops is different, bro.
Hoops dip. They all go in at the end of May.
Yeah, it's a little like they'll sign early, but they won't go in until then. Because like right now, it's basketball season's already going. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a. I know it's kind of like I was like, okay, if he signed, why he not already at school? It's a little different, bro, compared to football. Like football, like you go ahead and sign now. You already with the team in December, January. You get ready for the season next year to play. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's a little different. They gonna get prepared in the spring and the summer and stuff like that.
They are down the road, man. So I'm sure they be. Hey, man, listen, we need you to come to scout team offense real quick.
For real.
Hey, if I'm coaching, I'm saying I'm definitely gonna pull that. You know what I'm saying, pull that string.
For sure.
But
I did want to mention the team real quick. I know we on tech. I did want to talk about Georgia just a little bit. Yeah. I think a team that should be ranked when it comes to the AP poll. They 8-1 this season, quality win against St. John's, lost to Marquette, who's a top end team. But then we're gonna find a lot out about Georgia. I think they're gonna be a tournament team this year. Bacon, they got Asa Newell, who's really good. They got really good guard play as well. But they schedule, man. Excuse me. I just want to tell you this schedule. Starting January 4th, which is the Grayson New Year's Classic, they're going to play Ole Miss, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Auburn in a 6-game span, all back-to-back. You talk about resume builders, that's how you do it. And then guess what they got after that, Bacon? Arkansas, Florida. So right after those 6 we just said. So all those teams that I mentioned, the first 6 besides Arkansas, is ranked. So that's how you build your resume if you really want to, you know what I'm saying, be able to get there. So they're going to have a lot to say. And I can't wait to see, man, that's how you build it. I mean, 8-1 is really good. I think a team more people need to pay attention to.
Nah, definitely. Georgia should be there, man. I think they could probably win. They definitely can come away with either half, you know what I'm saying, or 4. I think so.
I agree.
But yeah, dude. Kai Fleming doing his thing. Brandon Storrs is a guy you need to watch out for. I'm saying real New York Hooper. You know what I'm saying? It's got that footwork, sophisticated, low post scorer. Definitely a guy that you know what I'm saying, you don't account for now. You definitely will know who he is further on. Of course, Eric Chatfield is just a bucket, man. I think who did I compare him to earlier? I can't remember. Oh, I think I did say he could average 16 points. You know what I'm saying? Once he gets well into the office, maybe year two, year three ish. Um, and what's the big man is? What's his name? Cole Kurok. Uh, I think he is Walker Kessler. Spin image. You know what I'm saying? Carbon copy Walker Kessler. That's just me. Y'all can check it out, but I feel pretty confident in saying that. But I want to touch on South Carolina women's before we end the college segment, man. They lost to UCLA, and I think what Achilles' heel is right now is their bigs. Even though they got some 7.5, 7.6s, it's not getting a lot of PT right now. As a senior and a freshman, I can understand why the freshman didn't get any burn, but the senior, I know she doesn't really give you a lot of blocks and a lot of rebounds. I looked at her statistics over her 4 years in college, which is it's a little alarming. But they play well against TCU and Duke, but none of those teams really have a big. So I think, and I've covered South Carolina. I wrote for them. I still write for them on SI. And we'll be tapping in with a lot more coverage moving forward. But I think what they're going to have to do, if they're not going to go the traditional route of playing that big that Coach Staley's always had last year with from Brazil, Camilla, and then a year before that with Aaliyah Boston, they need to run that either definitely Tahina at the point, at the two, Johnson, not Raven, even though I like Raven. Three, I like Chloe. Chloe at the three, and let's see, Chloe at the three, or Ashley at the five, and a freshman at the four, Edwards. I think that's the lineup, or you know what I'm saying. If you want to put Edwards at the three, Chloe at the four, that's fine too. But you just gotta find a way where you can just speed up those big girls. You know what I'm saying? Make them come out and then play it from the perimeter, but speed them up, try to get them tired, man. And you know what I'm saying? Use that length as much as they can, because when they played against UCLA, man, that's just how they kind of just wore them down, and they just couldn't catch it back up. But that's my take on the South Carolina Gamecocks, and our take on this college basketball as it is in the culture. But we will move on. All right. And the next topic, we already kind of talked about. We didn't talk about the expansion. So, how do you feel about the expansion? You know what I'm saying, going from the field between 72 to 74 to now 76.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot of people are against it. They don't like it.
Mm.
They feel like it hurts the sport. But I think, I think it's a little bit of both. I think, getting more revenue in is probably one of the highest sellers for them. Obviously, big games is important too, and ratings and things. But March Madness is one of those tournaments, those events that you turn into, right? Almost like SEC football. Like, people are fanatics about it. Every year people make brackets. ESPN does well with that. Get like, I think, over 1 million brackets nearly every year just from it. So I think it's NCAA's way of just trying to find other ways to, make profit, monetize, and continue to, create a good product, helping some of those Cinderellas we see every year, regardless. Yeah, spoiler, you know what I'm saying? You just don't get that almost anywhere else. Now, you got upsets, obviously, in college football, but you don't get to the level that you get in college basketball, right? You're not seeing a St. John's go in and beat Alabama. Now, that can happen in basketball. Now, football, no way in hell. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But it's just hard to replicate that. So I just think, they're seeing what it is, how much people are engaged, how much people love March Madness. And they're like, well, we can add 4 more spots. Why not add it to this big tournament, and create revenue not only for us, but obviously ESPN, some of our TV partners, obviously the people that carry it, which is TNT Sports, True TV, and so much more. So that's what I think is kind of the basis behind it, why they want to do it. I'm not personally against it. I know a lot of people are, but maybe you just add a whole bye week, potentially for some of those top seats. Like, you just put, if you had an extra 4, you put those 4 against the other 4 that you had, that you sometimes give those bids to. They got to play in and let them play each other, and then just extend it for a week. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, I know, man. Everything you said, and just adding more exposure to these kids, man. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? We're doing on high school level, college level. That's what they're doing. It's win-win.
Yeah, like for example, think about RJ Hunter. Now, it didn't work out for him, but imagine if Georgia State didn't pull off that upset against Baylor some years ago. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't go off. Now, I didn't go far, just second round, but think about what that did for them. You know what I'm saying? Just as a team as Georgia State, you know what I'm saying? And his career, he ended up getting drafted, going to the league. Now, it didn't work out, but still, that helped. Another example, Kennesaw State, right? They're not known for
Yeah.
their basketball too. And obviously, RIP to their coach, Abdul Rahim. Hate that happened to him. But he ends up, they win, or they got really close and lost this first round, mind you. And he gets a job at another upper echelon D1 school at USF. Like that did a lot for him. Some of his players transferred there to USF. And now Kennesaw State seen as a team like, oh wow, they're pretty dangerous in Atlantic Sun. And then now they upgraded their conference. You know what I'm saying? So they could be in a better conference in terms of not only football, basketball, but everything. You know what I'm saying? So that did a lot for them in terms of revenue and making money and getting Kennesaw State more in there. And they recently just been a Big Ten team in basketball. No one would have thought of that. And obviously beating Rutgers. Like those kind of things is what the tournament does. It's great for exposure. We've had it at UMBC. Nobody thinks about them. You know what I'm saying? Going up into that tournament, but them pulling off that deep run, what happened, Bacon? You know what I'm saying? Now people are like, oh, if UMBC gets in, you got to, pay attention to them. You never know what they could do. So that's why I like it, and I don't think it's a bad idea.
At all. I agree with you, brother. But segueing out of this beautiful segment, we just talk straight hoops, man. We got to talk about what happened last night in the NBA Cup. Got to start with the Hawks, man. Hey, man, my only gripe with the Hawks is that we play down the competition right now, but they look damn good against the Knicks last night. I feel like Trae Young back in 2022, but it might be 2021. But you know what I'm saying? Did you watch? I'm sure you watched it, brother. You know what I'm saying? I talk about the Hawks. You like, I see the Hawks talking about it. Bacon, I was going crazy about it. But just what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a big win. I don't know what it is. Unfortunately, for Trae, I know a lot of people want to see him go, deeper in the postseason and stuff like that. He's obviously been to Eastern Conference Finals. That's when I was covering them for my school newspaper, The Signal. There at State, and got a chance to interview Trae Young and all the young talent when they had it coming up. But there's something about New York. I don't know what it is, bro, but they always get the best out of Trae Young. Like he calls it a love-hate relationship. I watched the post game. He had a little dice celebration when he was throwing it as well. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just great. It's great for Mosh. It's great for the sport, I think. And it's like kind of like a rivalry to a degree. Because every time he plays them, he always gets excited and they always play some of their best basketball. But a phenomenal game again from Trae. But I really like these young guys. It's Dyson Daniels. Now he only had 9 points in that game, but he looks really good and what he could do for the Hawks going forward. And then, DeAndre Hunter had one of his better games of the year. Impressive 24 points in that one for him. Trae had double, 22 and 11. And then Jalen Johnson, I've been so impressed with him. Like he to me is a cornerstone player for the Hawks going forward, right? I nearly had a triple-double, right? Let me make sure I got my notes right. He had
11, 15, and 7.
Yeah, 21 points, 15 boards, and 7 assists. Like he's a guy like that continues to get better. You know what I'm saying? And it is a building block. Now some might say, okay, well, maybe the Hawks should trade for another star-long Trae. I think they've done that. They did that with DeJounte Murray. It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? But I think with this young talent, continue to let them kind of emerge and come up big, I think is the way to go. Now you got gosh, I can't think of his name. Ochekwu, the big man they got, I think, from USC. He's been playing really well. Still have Capella. So I mean, you might have to move a couple pieces, but that was a big win for them. Now you go to the semifinals. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said I think they should make the NBA Cup and make it even more interesting. They make money off it, obviously, a couple 50, 60,000. But what they really should do is, okay, you win, you get an automatic playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know someone would say that takes out of the season or they won't take it as serious, but I think it would even add more kind of intrigue to it. You know what I'm saying? Potentially. Or like, maybe not even a playoff spot. You get an automatic play-in spot, regardless of what happens with your record. Something like that, just to make it fun. You know what I'm saying? To continue to have the players, fully engaged, I think would be pretty cool to see as well. You know what I'm saying? Or play-in opportunity, regardless of whatever happens. One game play-in, potentially Bacon, depending on how well you do. Now, if you clinch it, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But if you're struggling that year, maybe a one game play-in. But The Hawks have been great. They continuing to get better, and they're picking up some quality wins, beating the Knicks. And I don't know what it is with y'all. Y'all beating high end opponents this year. Like y'all losing the lesser competition, but y'all beating the Knicks,
It's the
Celtics,
youth.
Cavs. Like it's so intriguing. But that's a good thing because if you guys can get in, you don't feel scared when you have to go against these guys, these big time opponents, because you've played them and you've beaten them.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think it's a little bit of the youth and just people interchanging roles. Like you got DeAndre Hunter, 24 points off the bench, entering himself into the 6 man of the year conversation. So I just think it's the youth, but I think I'm saying they'll be fine, man. But what is interesting, man, I've been hearing a lot of my comrades say, and I heard multiple people say, man, Jalen Johnson kind of like LeBron. I said, huh? I said, no.
I'm gonna compare to LeBron. Like, why they can't just be Jalen Johnson?
Lord, bro. Look at this impossible the near triple doubles. I'm gonna have to watch this game, but
he can hoop though.
He hoop. He said specifically to the Boston Celtics game. He watched that game and said, I'm gonna go back and watch it, but that's a little too high for me, brother. But nonetheless,
they could say like Jason Tatum or something.
Nah, not Jason Tatum.
You don't think so?
He ain't got that. He ain't creating off the dribble like Jason. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet, but maybe when he was just coming in, Jason wasn't doing all that. He was rim running.
He put that ball on the floor though. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But you know what I'm saying. Last one, the Warriors and the young but very talented and defensive savvy Houston Rockets. Yeah, I try to stay up and watch it. I ain't gonna fall asleep on the game, man. I didn't even plug in my phone when I was rushing. I ain't rushing at the house. Obviously, I got them time, but trying to charge my phone. I'm getting ready to leave out of the house with like 35%. But did you get the chance to watch it?
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces. Went back and rewatched it just to make sure I had got it right. But I thought an electric game, one that Golden State control. It's just crazy they lost with an 8-9 point lead. With less than 3 minutes or so in that game. Fred VanVleet was coming up big time for him. Just, Golden State's missing that second score alongside Steph. And it's the same dilemma that the Hawks just kind of struggling with. Like, do you go trade for a piece? Jimmy Butler's been up in trade conversations and things like that. They might try to go trade some assets for him and try to get him and maximize Steph's window, obviously. But I think they struggled there. But that was just a bogus call, man. I don't want to take anything away from Houston. They're a rising team. They're going to be something to be messed with here pretty soon. And we've seen the remnants of that last year, what they was able to do. But that kid, man, that Sengun kid, like he's the real deal. That Alperen Sengun, like 26 points, 11 boards, like he's a problem, bro. Yeah. And he was their main scorer. That was the main offer. It wasn't even Jalen Green. He only had 12. Jabari Smith added 15. It was that dude. He was torching Golden State. But I just think in that situation, you don't call a foul on that. You know what I'm saying? Just you're giving them free throws. They down in the game. Like, what I'm saying? Golden State had an opportunity, but you just don't call a foul there. And I have to say this, Bacon, the officiating has been terrible this year. The NBA ratings is down, what I'm saying, and things like that. And I know a lot of people always around this time says, well, the NBA ratings ain't good. Y'all got to remember, all right, this is peak football season. Peak. All right, peak. Like, we got the playoffs is next week, bro. Like, that's where a lot of my attention is going to. You know what I'm saying? And the best games ain't going to be played right this second. That's why the commissioner went and made that EA Emirates Cup. So it could be more meaningful basketball so that you would tune in. It's hard right now, even in our own state of Georgia, to be honest with you. Unless you are a basketball savant and you love hoop more than football, you're more than likely going to be caring more about these state championships coming up next week. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really like us, you're a basketball savant, you want to see what the top end guys is doing. That's just the reality. Now, I think these numbers are going to go up, but the problem is too many guys is coming down 1-2 seconds, getting it, shooting the three. There's no physicality. You know what I'm saying? The officiating is terrible, and it's a hard product. And think about this too, Bacon, another great point that I heard today. A lot of the games for NFL or college, think about it. They're regional, bro. You ain't got to go get no NBA League Pass to watch your local team. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that. And even if you get it, Bacon, it's like you probably still can't watch your team. They're not even carrying on the local network.
Man, come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that hurts the problem too. And then a lot of times there's no – now, I don't know. I was barely born at the time. I was born in 97. I don't know what it was like back then watching Jordan and Pippen and obviously Gosh, I'm losing some names
Steve.
here, bro. Larry Bird, Magic. I can't think of the Pistons player. I can't think of his name.
Isaiah
Isaiah.
Thomas, Joe
Yeah,
Dumars.
Isaiah Thomas. Thank you, Baker. I couldn't think of his name for whatever reason. But I don't know what that was like. But that's what we're missing. We're missing like that prime time. And I'm gonna throw it to you, Bacon. Just that prime time weekday matchup. Like, oh man, like I gotta get home and watch this. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough for NBA because you're competing also too with college. College games are carried on ESPN and other networks, and there's so many networks to watch stuff on.
Yeah.
But there's no like prime time. Oh man, it's NBA Tuesday night. Golden State's playing this team. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna potentially make it further down? This could be an NBA Finals preview. Like we're not getting those kind of matchups, so it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard, man. Like these phones are another thing, man. Like when I remember being young, I wasn't racing home to really watch no NBA games during the week. And I was trying to watch wrestling or something, man. to be honest,
That's true. That's true. I think about it. Yeah, that was prime time when we was young. Yeah,
classic moments.
yeah, that's true. And then it was Monday night. Like I was thinking Monday Night Football. I know I was a big one for me. Like I want to watch because I knew it was always a good game.
No, you ain't lying. It's just so much going. It's just so much in the world, man. I don't even know the answer. Just giving certain NBA stars like they do. Edwards, like Anthony Edwards, is in Sprite commercials. He's in Adidas commercials. He's in every commercial. I don't think that's necessarily the answer. I mean, you got a lot of NBA players already in the State Farm commercials, or the what's the other one with the emu? Doug and the emu. I think overtime will lead in more coverage toward high school ball. That may do it, but we'll see. But man, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Game Street podcast. I feel like we got to change that name. Just not. It ain't going in and out my ear the same way as it was before. So if you got any recommendations, definitely leave it in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have any further words, guys, before we give my our game or whatever, you have anything else?
Nah, man, I know you got to be up. Fortunately, Prep Sport Nation, Day couldn't join us. He said he wouldn't be home to 9:30. I know Bacon has to be up. So like I said, I'm not going to hold him no longer, man. But hope y'all enjoyed. We got up to 100 people today to watch. So like I said, I know this is different. And we hitting a whole different demographic. These just for true hoop fans. Like we got our show on Tuesday. We've just both been busy. So we haven't been able to do it on Tuesday nights. And we know we already got a football audience that loves to watch us. So we appreciate y'all, but it's just different trying to build that. Now we're trying to build that basketball audience, and that's going to take some time. But we love talking hoops, what's going on around the state, and I think what's going to help us just, tagging more players. And when we get them, hey, we talking basketball tonight, highlighting this player, and that's probably going to help us gain more traction there, man. But appreciate y'all tuning in. My quick word of just advice with kids. And I know a lot of people are against the hire. I know this is football, but Bill Belichick, I really love it. I love that he's going to UNC. Real quick, I know a lot of people are coming for him saying, oh, well, if he made the greatest competitor of all time, like felt like he was nothing, or he was difficult to work with, then how is it going to resonate with 18-year-old kids? Look, man, that's the problem right now. It's too much entitlement. I said it in my video. It's too much entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Belichick going to keep it real. If you're not going to uphold this and you're going to sleep and meet this, go get your butt in the portal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it's going to be. He's not going to play with you. He's not going to mess with you. Like, that's what it is. He's going to basically run what Saban was running, but he got better success at doing it on the NFL level. He's going to bring it to college. He's going to create a factory for people to go, and that you can go and be ready to play in the NFL. Same thing that Saban and Kirby Smart's doing currently. It's no different. You know what I'm saying? And these kids need a reality check. They think it's sweet. It ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? If you get this is literally, and this is why I said this is a baby NFL, and why I like it, because you're gonna have to go play. If you're getting paid and you want to get paid $1.5 million to stay here, you're gonna have to perform on the field. There's no different than the NFL. When you go and they paying you 50, 60, 70, 80 million, and other people is trying to get their money and their bread, you're gonna have to perform. It's no different. You know what I'm saying? It is no different. So I wanted to say that tonight, and want to tell the kids, be receptive. So I'm always thinking you know everything. You know what I'm saying? Listen sometimes, and you can learn some things. So that's my message to the kids. It's all love. It's no hate at the end of the day. I just want y'all to think. Use y'all brains. Stop always being first to talk. You got 2 ears for a reason. 2. Listen sometimes. Take in the message, and you'll be fine in life. That's it.
That was facts. That's facts. Just piggybacking off that Bill Belichick point, man. about. I don't know if it's going to bring in a full NBA roster. Not roster, but NFL. Excuse me, NFL coaching staff. But we're seeing that having a coaching staff that's all previous NBA. Talking about AJ Devonson right here. That was a key decision in him going to BYU. They got a full NBA coaching staff that has had that experience. So that's big. I think Bill's going to do fine. But it's advice for the kids, man. In the recruiting space, I'm talking about high school, man. It's not always the best decision to transfer to another school. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, man. I've been heard some information, man. Yeah, this kid transferred. Some college coaches not even looking at him anymore. But again, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that you need to move and it's something good, then definitely go with your gut, man. You know what I'm saying? And work hard. That's the biggest thing. But sometimes the grass ain't always green on the other side, man. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta be patient, man. Delayed gratification. So just keep that in mind. Keep working hard, you know what I'm saying? Keep waking up early in the mornings, keep separating yourself, and first and foremost, you know what I'm saying, take care of the books. That's first and foremost. I ask a lot of these kids, man. One of my first couple questions, we were talking about recruiting. What's your GPA, man? That where I know what to gauge if I need to go D1, if we need to go down a couple notches. But take care of your books, you know what I'm saying? Stay off the phones as much as you can, and just try to be in the moment, man. Do some meditation, man. You know what I'm saying? Go outside and breathe in the cool air. Is good for you. But that's all I got. That's all we got. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is another legendary experience, man. We appreciate all the 100 people who tapped in. Comment and let us know how you feeling a little bit next time, man. We know it's a process, but nonetheless, I gotta let you know, man. It's just all about the psychology of this thing and the principalities that's going on here, brother. But nonetheless, thank y'all. Have a blessed night. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas is coming up, so definitely spend time with your loved ones, man. Peace.